Interstate 80, 2,900 miles of asphalt cutting through the heart of America, from San Francisco to New York City. But there's a stretch, a 450-mile stretch through Nebraska and Iowa, where drivers say the road feels different, where truckers go missing, where rest stops have reputations, where something hunts along the highway. My name is Webb. I was a long-haul trucker for 17 years, drove I-80 more times than I can count, knew every exit, every truck stop, every way station from Omaha to Des Moines. But in February 2019, I drove that route for the last time. And what I discovered, what I survived, it ended my career, ended my marriage, damn near ended my life. This is what really happens on America's loneliest highway. This is what they don't tell you at the truck stops. This is why I'll never drive I-80 again. Welcome to Midwest Mysteries. This is the truth about the highway. February 12, 2019, Tuesday morning, 4:47 a.m. I was in Omaha, Nebraska. Pilot truck stop off exit 4 and 40. Just finished loading 42,000 pounds of agricultural equipment headed for a John Deere distributor in Davenport, Iowa. It was supposed to be an easy run. 6 hours, maybe 7 with stops. Straight shot on I-80 East. I'd done it 100 times. My rig was a 2016 Freightliner Cascadia, sleeper cab, 450 horsepower, my home for 280 days a year. Everything I owned was in that truck. I was 43 years old. Divorced, no kids, just me and the road. Trucking is what I knew. My daddy was a trucker, his daddy before him. It's in the blood. The solitude, the freedom, the American highway stretching out forever. But that morning, something felt off. I'd been driving since I was 25, 18 years on the road. You develop instincts. You feel when something isn't right. The weather report said snow. Big storm coming in from the west. Nebraska in February, snow's expected, but this felt different. The truck stop was almost empty. That was the first strange thing. Usually this place is packed, truckers everywhere, but that morning, maybe 10 rigs total, and the drivers, they all had this look, like they knew something I didn't. I was grabbing coffee, black, 2 sugars, like always, when an old-timer approached me. Had to be 70. Worn cat diesel hat, faded Carhartt jacket, face like a road map. "You heading east on 80?" he asked. "Yeah, Davenport." He looked at my rig through the window and shook his head. "Might want to wait out the storm, maybe take 30 instead." "I've driven through worse," I said. "It ain't the snow I'm worried about." I laughed. "What else is there?" He didn't laugh back, just stared at me with these pale blue eyes. "You ever hear about the disappearances?" "What disappearances?" "Truckers. On this stretch of 80, between Omaha and Des Moines, last 20 years, at least 40 drivers have gone missing. Just vanished. Rigs found abandoned at rest stops. Doors open, keys in the ignition, drivers gone." "Urban legend," I said. "Truckers love their ghost stories." "Is it? You ever wonder why this truck stop is so empty? Why experienced drivers avoid this route in winter? Why there's always rigs for sale cheap that came off this highway?" "Old man, I appreciate the concern, but I got a schedule." "There's something out there," he interrupted, "on the road, between the mile markers, something that hunts when the snow falls, something that's been hunting for a long, long time." I finished my coffee. "Thanks for the warning." He grabbed my arm. His grip was surprisingly strong. "If you see someone on the side of the road, someone who needs help, don't stop. No matter what, don't stop." I pulled my arm free. "I'll be fine." I walked out to my truck. The old man watched me from the window. I climbed into the cab, fired up the engine, checked my mirrors, and I saw it, painted on the side of the truck next to mine, faded, almost invisible. But there, a tally mark, then another. Then another. Someone had been counting something. There were 43 marks. I shook it off, probably counting loads or trips or days on the road. But as I pulled out of that truck stop onto I-80 East, my hands were shaking, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd just made a terrible mistake. The highway stretched out before me, dark, empty, waiting. It was 5:42 a.m. The snow started falling at 5:44 a.m., and by 6 o'clock a.m., I wasn't alone on that highway anymore. Interstate 80 through Nebraska is one of the loneliest roads in America. Flat, endless, cornfields on both sides stretching to the horizon, small towns every 30 miles, most of them dying. Population signs with numbers crossed out, replaced with smaller numbers. In the summer, it's boring. In the winter, it's brutal. That morning, the snow came fast. Within 20 minutes, visibility dropped to maybe 50 feet. The road disappeared under white. My wipers could barely keep up. I slowed to 45, then 40. The smart thing would have been to pull over, wait it out, but I had a delivery deadline. And I was a professional. I'd driven through worse. I was alone on the road. No cars, no trucks, just me and the snow and the endless white line disappearing under my wheels. The radio crackled with trucker chatter. The CB was mostly static, but I caught fragments. Anyone on 80 eastbound? Stay off the highway. Not safe. Something wrong with... Then nothing. Just static. I tried the AM radio. Weather report. Blizzard warning. Highway patrol advising no unnecessary travel. Great. Now they tell me. I was approaching mile marker 420, about 20 miles west of Lincoln, middle of absolutely nowhere. That's when I saw the first one. A car, on the shoulder, hazard lights flashing. I could barely see it through the snow, but it was there. A sedan, maybe a Honda or Toyota, just sitting there. My first instinct, the human instinct, was to slow down, see if someone needed help. But then I remembered what the old man said. If you see someone on the side of the road, don't stop. I kept driving. As I passed, I looked in my mirror. Through the snow, I could see the car. The driver's door was open. Nobody was inside. But someone was standing next to it. A figure, just standing there in the snow, watching my truck drive away. I told myself it was nothing, someone waiting for a tow truck, or a state trooper, someone who'd be fine. But something about the way they stood, too still, too straight, just wrong. I accelerated, pushed the truck to 50. The snow was getting worse, but I wanted distance between me and that car. Mile marker 425. Another car. This one was a pickup truck, also on the shoulder, also with the driver's door open, also with someone standing next to it. Same posture, same stillness, same wrongness. I didn't slow down, kept going. My heart was pounding now. Mile marker 430, another vehicle, a minivan this time, door open, figure standing. Mile marker 435, an SUV. Same thing. Mile marker 440, a semi-truck, big rig like mine, parked on the shoulder, trailer attached, door hanging open, and standing next to it. Another figure, but this one was different. This one was wearing a trucker's jacket. This one looked like one of us. I grabbed my CB radio. Breaker, this is long-haul Marcus on I-80 eastbound, mile marker 440. Is anyone out there? Anyone reading me? Static. I'm seeing abandoned vehicles all along the highway, multiple vehicles. If anyone can hear me, respond. Nothing. Then a voice. Broken. Distorted. Turn around. Who is this? What's your location? Turn around. While you still can. Who the hell is this? The voice changed, became clearer, but it wasn't one voice anymore. It was many, men, women, children, all speaking at once. He's on the road. He's on the road. He's on the road. I dropped the CB like it was on fire. My hands were gripping the wheel so tight my knuckles were white. In my side mirror, I could see all of them now. All the figures, standing by their vehicles, all watching me, and then, one by one, they started walking. Toward my truck, through the snow, on the highway, following me. I punched the accelerator. The truck lurched forward. 55, 60. Too fast for the conditions, but I didn't care. I had to get away from them. Had to. Something thumped on the side of my trailer. I looked in my passenger mirror. Someone was running alongside my truck. In a blizzard, on a highway, running at 60 miles per hour, keeping pace. It was impossible. But it was happening. I could see their face now. A woman, maybe 30, pale, blue lips, eyes wide open. Dead eyes. She was dead. But she was running. And she was smiling. Then she jumped. grabbed onto the side of my trailer, started climbing. I swerved. The truck fishtailed. I nearly jackknifed but regained control. When I looked again, she was gone. I was hyperventilating, sweating despite the cold. Every instinct screamed at me to stop the truck and run. But run where? We were in the middle of nowhere. The nearest town was 15 miles away. Mile marker 450, Lincoln was close. If I could just make it to Lincoln. That's when I saw him, standing in the middle of the highway. A man, tall, wearing a long dark coat, just standing there, facing me. I laid on the horn, flashed my lights. He didn't move. I was going 60. No way I could stop in time. I had two choices, hit him or swerve. I swerved. The truck went off the road, hit the shoulder. The whole rig shook. I fought the wheel, managed to keep it upright, slammed on the brakes. The truck skidded, slid, finally stopped. I was off the highway, in a ditch, not stuck, but close. Engine still running, lights still on, wipers still fighting the snow. I sat there, breathing hard, trying to process what just happened. Then I looked in my rearview mirror. He was there, the man from the road, standing right behind my truck, staring at me through the window. And he was close enough that I could see his face. It wasn't a face. It was a mask, made of leather, human leather, stitched together from different people. And behind the eye holes, nothing, just darkness. He tilted his head, like a dog hearing a strange sound. Then he walked toward my driver's side door, slowly, deliberately. One step at a time. I fumbled for the door lock, slammed it down. All the doors locked. He reached my door, tried the handle. It didn't open. He stood there, looking at me through the window. 6 inches of glass between us. Then he raised his hand and knocked 3 times. Knock, 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 polite, patient, like he had all the time in the world. I sat frozen, too terrified to move. He knocked again. Knock, knock, knock. Then he spoke. His voice was wrong, layered, multiple voices speaking as one. "Let me in, Marcus." He knew my name. "We've been waiting for you." I found my voice. "Get the fuck away from my truck. You can't stay in there forever. Eventually you'll have to come out. And when you do, we'll be here. We're always here, on the road, waiting, hunting, taking. What do you want? What we've always wanted. What we've taken from 43 others. What we'll take from 43 more. 43, the tally marks on the truck. You're the 44th, Marcus. We've been counting." He pressed his face against the window. The leather mask squished against the glass. "Let me in. It'll be easier if you let me in." I did the only thing I could think of. I put the truck in gear and floored it. The tires spun, caught. The truck lurched forward. Out of the ditch, back onto the highway. I didn't look back, I just drove. 70, 80. The truck was shaking. The snow was blinding, but I didn't slow down. I had to get to Lincoln, to people, to safety. Mile marker 460. Almost there, mile marker 465. I could see lights ahead. The city. I was going to make it. Mile marker 470. The lights of Lincoln, civilization. The engine died. Just stopped. All the lights went out. Dash, headlights, everything. The truck coasted, slowed, stopped. I was on the highway, in a dead truck, in a blizzard, 5 miles from Lincoln. I tried the ignition. Nothing. Completely dead. I grabbed my phone. No signal. Battery at 2% even though I'd charged it that morning. I was alone. In the dark. In the snow. And then I heard it. Footsteps. Crunching in the snow. Coming from behind the truck. Multiple footsteps. They were all coming. All 43 of them. And the one in the mask who led them. I had one choice. I grabbed my coat, my flashlight, and I ran. I left everything. The truck, my livelihood, my life. And I ran into the blizzard, away from the highway, into the cornfields of Nebraska, into the dark. I ran blind, snow in my eyes, wind tearing at my clothes, corn stalks dead and frozen, cutting my face and hands. I could hear them behind me, not running, just walking. Steady, relentless. Like they knew I'd tire, like they had all the time in the world. My flashlight beam bounced wildly. Rows of dead corn stretched forever. No landmarks, no lights, just snow and darkness and stalks. I didn't know which direction I was going. Away from the highway meant away from help, but staying meant I couldn't think about what staying meant. I ran for what felt like hours, but was probably 20 minutes. My lungs burned, my legs screamed. The cold was brutal. Finally, I couldn't run anymore. I collapsed behind a small rise in the field, turned off my flashlight, tried to control my breathing, listened, wind, snow, my heartbeat thundering in my ears. Then, voices scattered around me, in the field, calling out, "Marcus!" A woman's voice, sweet, gentle. "Marcus, where are you? I need help." A child's voice, scared, crying. "Help me, please, I'm so cold." An old man's voice, weak. "I'm lost, can you help me find the road?" They were everywhere, surrounding me, using voices designed to trigger my humanity, my instinct to help. But I remembered the old trucker's words. Don't stop, no matter what. I stayed silent, stayed hidden. The voices got closer. "We know you're here, Marcus." That was him, the masked one. Multiple voices layered together. "You can't hide in the fields. We know these fields. We've hunted here for decades. Every trucker who tried to run. They all ended up here, in the corn, lost, alone. Until we found them." I peeked over the rise. Through the snow I could see them, 40, maybe 50 figures, moving through the corn stalks, searching. Some looked recent, fresh, modern clothes, could have been taken last week. Others older, clothing from the 90s, the 80s. Even older, decades of victims, all dead, all walking, all hunting. And the masked one, the leader, the thing that controlled them. He stood in the center, taller than the rest, that horrible leather mask stitched from his victims. "You're going to die out here, Marcus. The cold will take you if we don't. And when you do, you'll join us. You'll walk with us, hunt with us, forever." I had to move. Staying still meant freezing to death. I crawled, low, quiet, away from the voices. The snow was actually helping, covering my tracks, muffling sound. I moved for 15 minutes, put some distance between us. Then I saw it. A light, through the snow, about half a mile away. A farmhouse. Someone lived out here. Someone with heat and a phone and help. I ran toward it, threw caution away, just ran. The voices behind me erupted. They'd seen me. "He's running! Get him!" The dead began to run. Fast, impossibly fast. I pushed harder, legs pumping, heart exploding. The farmhouse getting closer, 200 yards, 100, 50. I could see details now. Porch light on, smoke from chimney, truck in the driveway, 20 yards, 10. I hit the porch steps, slammed into the door. "Help, please, let me in." I pounded on the door, looked back. They were coming. Through the field, dozens of them, dead eyes glowing in my flashlight beam. "Please, someone help me." The door opened. An old farmer. 70-something, shotgun in hand. "What in the hell?" "Let me in, they're coming." He saw them. Through the snow, the dead walking toward his house. His face went white. "Jesus Christ, not again." He yanked me inside, slammed the door, started locking it. 3 deadbolts. A chain, a wooden bar across the door. "How many are out there?" he demanded. "I don't know. Dozens. What the fuck is happening?" "They come when it snows. When truckers take the highway, they hunt." "Who are they?" "The taken, the missing, everyone who disappeared on I-80 for the last 50 years. 50? The old man said 20. "It's been going on a lot longer than 20 years, son." He moved to the window, peeked through the curtain. They were surrounding the house, standing in the snow, staring. The masked one was at the front, just watching. "Why haven't they attacked?" I asked. "They can't come in, not unless invited. Old rules, old magic. This land has protections." "What protections? What the hell are you talking about?" The farmer looked at me. His eyes were sad, tired, like he'd seen this too many times. "My name is Dutch Kaufman. I've lived here 68 years. This farm has been in my family since 1880, and for all those years, we've known about him." "Him?" "The thing in the mask, the thing that hunts the highway. We don't know what he is. Demon, spirit, something older, but he's always been here. on this stretch of road, taking travelers, building his army of the dead. Why? What does he want? To feed, to grow stronger. Every person he takes adds to his power, adds another soldier to his collection. He's been hunting this highway for over 100 years. First it was wagon trains, then cars, now trucks. Dutch went to the fireplace, grabbed a poker, held it like a weapon. Usually they give up after an hour or two, move on, find easier prey. But you ran, you fought. That makes you interesting. He wants you bad. How do I get out of here? You don't. Not until sunrise. He can only hunt in darkness. When the sun comes up, he has to return to wherever the hell he comes from. The dead go back to their vehicles. Everything resets until the next snow. How long until sunrise? Dutch checked his watch. 6 hours. I looked out the window. The masked figure was still there, staring at the house, waiting. Then he did something that made my blood freeze. He reached up, removed his mask. And underneath, it was me, my face, my features, perfect in every detail. He smiled with my smile and spoke with my voice. Dutch, it's me, Marcus, the real Marcus. The thing in your house isn't human, it's one of them. Let me in, please, before it kills you. Dutch's hand tightened on the poker. Don't listen to it, but the thing with my face kept talking. Dutch, I know this sounds crazy, but you have to believe me. I got away from them. That thing in your house attacked me and took my form. Let me in, we'll kill it together. Dutch, that's not me, I said. I'm right here. The thing outside laughed. That's exactly what it wants you to think. Dutch, you know the signs. Test us. Ask us something only the real Marcus would know. Dutch looked at me, then at the thing with my face. What did you have for breakfast? I tried to remember. I didn't eat, just coffee, at the Pilot in Omaha. The thing outside nodded. Coffee, black, 2 sugars. Got it at 5:35 a.m. from the counter, not the machine, because the machine coffee tastes like dirt. That was exactly right. Dutch's grip on the poker wavered. Dutch, don't, I said. It's in my head. It knows what I know. Or you're in his head, the thing said, and the real me is out here freezing. Come on, Dutch. You've known my family for years. Let me in. I don't know your family, I shouted. I'm from Kentucky. I've never been to Nebraska before this run. The thing smiled. I'm from Omaha, born and raised. My daddy was Dutch's friend. That thing is lying. Dutch's face was torn, confused, scared. I can't tell. Dutch, please, the thing said. I'm freezing to death out here. If you ever cared about my father, let me in. Dutch's hand moved toward the door locks. Don't, I grabbed his arm. Dutch, think. If I was one of them, why would I be afraid? Why would I be hiding in here? Maybe it's a trick, Dutch said. Maybe you're waiting for me to sleep. I'm not, I swear. The thing outside pressed against the door. Dutch, last chance, open this door, or I'll freeze. And my death will be on your hands, just like all the others you didn't save. Dutch flinched. Like that hit a nerve. What others? I asked. Dutch's voice was quiet. Over the years, sometimes truckers make it to my door, just like you, and sometimes I can't tell which one is real, and I make the wrong choice. How many wrong choices? He didn't answer. Dutch, how many? 7. Jesus Christ. I let them in, and they killed me, but the protections on this house, they bring me back, every time. I wake up the next morning, alive, and the thing is gone. But the real trucker, the real person, they're out there, added to his collection. I stared at him. You've died 7 times. 8, counting the first time, before I knew what he was. And you keep living out here. Why don't you leave? I can't. The protections, they're tied to me, to my family. If I leave, the house loses its power, and then there's nowhere safe for the next trucker who runs. I have to stay. It's my burden. The thing outside, the one with my face, was still talking. Dutch, please. I'm so cold. I can't feel my fingers. Please. Dutch looked at me, then at the door, then back at me. I don't know which one of you is real. I am, I said. I swear on everything I am. I'm Marcus Webb from Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've been driving for 17 years. I'm divorced, no kids. I drive a Freightliner. I was making a run to Davenport. That thing out there, it's not me. It's never been me. Please, believe me." Dutch stared into my eyes for a long moment. Then he looked at the door. "I'm sorry," he said to the thing outside, "but I can't take the risk. Not again." The thing's expression changed. The fake humanity dropped away. What was left was pure rage. "Open this door." The voice wasn't mine anymore. It was the layered voice, the demon voice. "Open it, or I'll burn this house down with both of you inside." "You can't," Dutch said. "You can't cross the threshold, you can't harm the house, and you can't stay past sunrise." "Then we'll wait. And when he leaves, when he finally steps outside, we'll be here." The thing stepped back, joined the crowd of dead. They all stood there, in the snow, watching the house, waiting. Dutch and I looked at each other. 6 hours, he said. 6 hours, I repeated. We settled in for the longest night of our lives. Dutch made coffee. We sat at his kitchen table, shotgun within reach, windows covered. Outside, the dead waited. "Tell me everything," I said, "from the beginning." Dutch sipped his coffee, stared at nothing, then started talking. 1952, I was 6 years old. My daddy was driving home from town. December, snowstorm. He saw someone on the side of the road, woman in a white dress, waving for help. Daddy stopped. That was the kind of man he was. Always helped. The woman came to the window, asked him to open the door, said she was cold. He opened it. She pulled him out of the truck, into the snow. And then others came, out of the corn. Dead things. They surrounded him. My daddy fought, made it back to the truck, drove home. But he was different after that, scared, paranoid, started putting protections on the house, salt lines, iron, symbols carved into the door frames. We thought he was going crazy. Then one night, during another snowstorm, they came to the house. All of them, the dead, led by the man in the mask. They surrounded the house, just like now, demanded we let them in. My daddy refused. The protections held, but the thing in the mask, he spoke. Told us this was his territory, his hunting ground. Said he'd been here since before the settlers, since the Native Americans who called him the walker between worlds. Said he needed to feed, needed to take, and the highway, first the Oregon Trail, then the Lincoln Highway, now I-80, that was his feeding ground. Every generation, someone from my family has stayed on this farm, maintained the protections, gave shelter to those who escaped. It's our duty. Duty to who? Why you? Because my great-great-grandfather made a deal. In 1882, the thing in the mask killed his entire wagon train, 20 people, but he offered a trade, his life for theirs. His family would maintain a safe house. One place on all of I-80 where the hunted could hide. In exchange, the thing wouldn't take his family, wouldn't cross our threshold. The deal held for 137 years. Jesus, so you're trapped here. Not trapped, chosen. It's important. Without this house, there's nowhere to run. But you said you've made mistakes. Let in the wrong person. Dutch's face darkened. 7 times. 7 times I guessed wrong. And 7 times I died. The protections bring me back. But those people, they're gone. Out there, part of his army now. How do you know which is which? How do you tell? You don't. That's the horror of it. He's perfect. When he takes your form, he knows everything you know. Memories, mannerisms, everything. The only way to tell is faith, instinct, and sometimes you're wrong. So why did you trust me? Dutch looked me in the eye. Because you didn't beg. The thing always begs, always plays on emotion. You just told me facts. Simple, direct. That felt real. But you could be wrong. I could be. We sat in silence. Outside, something scratched at the door. How many are out there? I asked. In his collection. Hundreds, maybe thousands. But he can only control a few dozen at once. The rest, they're dormant, trapped in their vehicles, reliving their last moments forever until he calls them. Can they be saved? The dead? I don't know. No one's ever killed him. No one's ever tried. Why not? Because no one knows how. Bullets don't work. Fire doesn't work. Every hunter who came here to end this, they're part of the collection now. So we just hide. Forever? Let him keep killing? What else can we do? I thought about that. About all the truckers who died, all the families who never got answers. About the 43 tally marks on that truck. About almost being number 44. We kill him, I said. Tonight, before sunrise, we end this. Dutch laughed bitterly. With what? How? You said this house has protections, old magic. What if we use that against him? How? I was forming a plan. Crazy, desperate. But maybe... The threshold. You said he can't cross it. Can't enter without invitation. That's a rule, an old rule. What if we make him break it? He won't, he can't. What if we force him? I went to the window, peeked out. The masked thing was still there, my face staring back at me. I opened the window. Just a crack. Hey, asshole! The thing's head turned, focused on me. You want me? Come get me. Marcus, what are you doing? Dutch hissed. Trust me, just be ready with that shotgun. The thing smiled with my smile, started walking toward the house. That's right, come on, I'm right here. It reached the porch, stopped at the door. You have to invite me, Marcus. No, you have to take me. Isn't that the whole point? You're a hunter, so hunt. Come through this door and take me. Doesn't work that way. Why not? Scared? Scared of what happens if you cross that threshold? I'm not scared of anything. Then prove it. Come in. Drag me out. Do what you do. The thing's expression flickered. Anger. Frustration. You're trying to trick me. No trick. Just calling your bluff. You're not a demon. You're not a god. You're a coward who hides behind rules and dead people. You can't even take me yourself. The thing's hands clenched into fists. Careful, Marcus. Or what? You'll kill me? You're going to do that anyway. But you can't do it yourself. You need me to step outside. You need permission. You need rules. What kind of monster needs permission? The thing screamed. Rage. Pure rage. And then it stepped through the door, crossed the threshold, broke the rule. The moment it entered, the house reacted. The symbols on the door frames blazed with light. The salt lines ignited with blue flame. The air itself seemed to solidify around the thing. It realized its mistake, tried to retreat, but the house held it, trapped. Dutch raised the shotgun, fired both barrels point blank into the thing's chest. The thing flew backward, slammed into the wall. The leather mask cracked. Black smoke poured from the wound. Not blood, smoke. And inside the smoke, faces, screaming faces, all the victims. It's working, I shouted. Keep going. Dutch reloaded, fired again. The thing convulsed. The mask split open. Beneath it, nothing, just more smoke. More faces, a void held together by stolen skin and hatred. End this, the thing hissed, multiple voices weakening. Please, end this. Wait, was it begging? It wants to die, Dutch whispered. All this time, it's been trapped too, just like the victims, just like me. The thing's form was breaking apart. The collected faces were separating, rising, each one a soul trapped for decades. And in the center, a single figure, small, hunched, ancient, a man, Native American, wearing clothes from centuries ago. I was cursed, he whispered. To walk, to hunger, to take. I tried to stop. For so long I tried. But the hunger, it never stops. Who cursed you? Dutch asked. My people, for a crime I committed. They bound me to this land, to feed on travelers, forever. I've wanted to die for 200 years, but I can't. Not unless... Unless what? Unless someone breaks the cycle, crosses the threshold willingly, replaces me. I felt ice in my veins. That's why you wanted me to invite you in. If I had, I would have taken your place. The ancient man nodded, and I would be free. But you tricked me, made me break my own rule, and now, the house's protections were crushing him, destroying him, ending it. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you. And then he was gone, dissolved into smoke, released. The faces, all the victims, rose through the ceiling. Finally free, finally at peace. Outside, the dead collapsed, no longer animated, just bodies in the snow. The curse was broken. Dutch and I stood there, shocked, exhausted, alive. "Is it over?" I asked. "I think so." We waited, watched. Nothing moved. An hour passed, then two. At 6:47 a.m. the sun rose. The snow stopped falling, and for the first time in 137 years, the highway was clean. State police found my truck at 8:23 a.m., right where I'd left it. Engine dead, doors locked. They found me at Dutch's farmhouse at 9:15 a.m. And they found the bodies. 43 bodies, all along the highway, in ditches, in fields. Some had been there for days, some for decades. It made national news. Mass grave discovered on I-80. Nebraska highway of death. Dozens of missing truckers found. The FBI came, investigated, tried to piece together what happened. The official story. Serial killer. Active for 30 years, killed truckers during snowstorms, hid bodies along the highway. They never found the killer, of course. How could they? Dutch and I told them we survived by hiding, that we never saw the killer's face, just found the bodies in the morning. They didn't believe us, but they couldn't prove otherwise. Families got closure. 43 missing persons cases solved. Decades of grief finally answered. But Dutch and I, we knew the truth. I left Nebraska that afternoon, drove straight home to Kentucky, parked my truck and never got behind the wheel again. Sold the rig, sold everything, couldn't do it anymore. How do you drive I-80 after that? How do you trust the highway? Dutch stayed on the farm. But he sold off the land. The protections weren't needed anymore. The curse was broken. Last I heard, he moved to Florida, retired, living in peace. We talk sometimes, on the anniversary. February 12th, the night we survived, the night we ended it. But here's the thing, I-80 is clean now. The stretch through Nebraska and Iowa, no more disappearances, no more dead truckers. But there are other highways, I-90 through South Dakota, I-70 through Kansas, Route 66 through Oklahoma. Truckers still go missing, still vanish on lonely roads during storms. And I wonder, how many curses are still out there? How many things are still hunting the highways of America? How many deals were made that we don't know about? Last month I got a call from a trucker I used to know. He was driving I-90. Blizzard, South Dakota. He saw abandoned cars on the shoulder, figures standing next to them. "Marcus," he said, "what do I do?" "Don't stop," I told him. "Whatever you do, don't stop." "Why? What's happening?" "Just drive, get to the next town, get off the highway, and maybe find a farmhouse. Look for one with symbols on the door. They help, they protect. They're out there waiting for people like us." "Marcus, you're scaring me." "Good, you should be scared. The highway isn't safe. Not during the storms, not in the dark. There are things out there, old things, hungry things." "What things?" "The things that hunt." He made it. Got off the highway, quit driving the next day. Smart man. Me? I work at a warehouse now, loading docks, day shift. No travel, no highways. I miss the road sometimes. The freedom, the solitude, but then I remember the faces in the snow, the thing in the mask, the dead walking, the 43 who didn't make it. And I stay off the highway. I stay home, because out there on I-80, on all those lonely roads that cut through the Midwest, something is always hunting. And the next time you're driving through a blizzard and you see a car on the shoulder and someone standing next to it, waving for help, don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop. 3 months after Nebraska, I got a package. No return address, postmarked from Omaha. Inside was a photo. My truck, the one I'd abandoned, at a salvage yard, and on the side, barely visible under grime. 44 tally marks. Someone had added one more. There was a note, handwritten. Old paper, old ink. It said, "The curse is broken, but the count remains." 44 souls passed through, 43 taken, 1 survived. You are the 44th mark, Marcus, the one who ended it, the one who broke the cycle. But know this, there are 13 other highways, 13 other curses, 13 other things that hunt. And they know what you did. They know you broke one of their own. So sleep with your eyes open, Marcus Webb, because the road remembers. And the road is patient. And someday, somewhere, the road will call you back. It wasn't signed, but at the bottom there was a symbol, hand-drawn, ancient, a crossroads with 13 lines radiating out, 13 highways, 13 hunters. And I'd only killed one. That was 6 months ago. I've moved twice since then. Changed my number. Don't tell people my real name, but sometimes, late at night, I hear them. Engines in the distance, air brakes hissing. CB radio static forming words. Breaker, breaker. This is long-haul Marcus. Can anyone hear me? It's my voice. From that night, echoing through the airwaves, a ghost on the CB, forever calling for help. And I know that somewhere, on some lonely highway, during some future storm, they're waiting. The 13, waiting for me to get behind the wheel again, waiting for me to return to the road. Because once you've driven the cursed highways, once you've survived what hunts there, you're marked, and the road always takes what's marked. Always. I tell myself I'll never drive again, never touch a truck, never even get on a highway. But I know the truth. Someday I'll have to. Someday circumstances will force me. Emergency, necessity, fate, and when I do, they'll be waiting. All 13 of them, on 13 different roads, and this time, I don't think I'll survive. This is Marcus Webb, former long-haul trucker, survivor of the I-80 Nebraska curse, the 44th mark. If you're listening to this, if you drive the highways, especially the lonely ones through the Midwest, be careful, watch for the signs, abandoned vehicles, figures in the snow, voices on the CB that shouldn't be there. And if you see someone on the side of the road, someone who needs help, someone waving you down, just keep driving. Don't stop, don't look back, and pray they don't follow you home, because the highway is hungry, the highway is patient, and the highway always collects. Stay safe out there, and stay off I-80. Breaker, breaker. Anyone out there? We're on the road, forever, waiting, hunting. Come back to us, Marcus. The road is calling.